morning, Camerlan. So it finally happened. I quit my job last week. And I'm starting this documentary. I've been writing this film for the last, 5 years, probably. And now it's finally time. And I need a coffee first, though.
I need coffee.
Megan's awake. It's 6:35 in the morning. This is earlier than I got up from my job. How'd you sleep?
Not great.
Same. Hey, don't tickle me. Stop. And here we have Megan getting ready for her grand debut.
Stop filming me.
Are you as excited for today as I am? I can't wait.
I'm really nervous. Kind of scared.
Of what? Like, you know all this stuff is just made up.
I don't know, it's still weird.
Yeah, but you remember, all...
Wind northwest, it will calm. Swell height 5 feet. Swell period 14 seconds. Sea temperature 63 degrees. Air temperature 59.
Okay, it's recording.
This looks good?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay. Okay, so, oh God.
You alright?
Yeah, my head, I got this...
Okay, action.
Welcome to my 6-part docuseries. In this part, we're investigating Olympic National Park and the apparent ancient mythological god that drives its worshippers to commit atrocities in its name. And we're not sure if this ancient god even exists. But what we do know is the story of this ancient god starts here in the year 2003. In March of that year, Sarah Cook was aboard this ship when she was brutally murdered by her sister Jane. Now, Jane had been begging her sister for months to take this trip to Olympic National Park with her. And nobody really knows what led Jane to have such an interest in Olympic National Park, other than she kept stating that it was a religious experience. She had visited the park numerous times before. Now, this may not be the very boat where the murder and the suicide took place, but this is the exact route. And this is the exact day that it happened. We've been waiting for this day for years, and it has finally come. This is the same time, this is the same route, and here's what happened. This very morning at 7:55, Sarah and her sister Jane boarded this ferry to Olympic National Park. As they were sitting out, Sarah noticed that Jane was becoming more disconnected. She was mumbling words to herself. And the only way that we know this is from the security camera and people that were sitting near them. At exactly 8:10, Jane removed a rock bearing this symbol and brutally murdered her sister Sarah, before ultimately jumping overboard into the water and never being heard from again. Now, while this ancient god myth may span thousands of years into the past, this is the first instance we have of anybody actually taking it serious. So in this docuseries, we're going to be investigating 3 main questions. What is that symbol and what does it do? Who is this ancient god? And why does it drive its worshippers to commit atrocities? And what happened to Jane Cook? Yeah, I think that was awesome.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Nice storytelling.
Thanks.
Okay, that's center.
All right. Take 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after a beautiful 2-hour drive from the first location of a grisly murder-suicide, we come to location number 2. Exactly 1 year later, on the same date, John Glad was sitting on this very log, eating his lunch. John had just been transferred to the Seattle branch of his corporation, taking a new job in here. His wife, Wendy, was moving along with him, along with their dog. They were moving here to start a new life, better pay, new experience, and Wendy had quit her job to fulfill her lifelong dream of opening a food truck. When they got here, as John was eating his lunch, bystanders standing around, taking pictures, they noticed that Wendy had come over and had picked up a stick. Wendy walked behind John and struck John in the head. She hit him 6 times, ultimately killing him. As John lay face down in the water, Wendy took off her shoes. She stared at the lake and she shouted a word. The first time we're hearing this word, Modir. It means mother in Old Norse, a language no longer spoken. Wendy took off into the water, swimming across the lake, and onlookers said at about 200 to 300 yards. Her head dipped below the waters, and she's never been seen from again. We know from Facebook posts that Wendy had been posting about her leaving her organized religion, leaving Christianity, and instead investing in this pagan deity that they call Modir. Wendy posted this on her Facebook page just a day before.
I was here when that happened.
Hey, do you mind answering some questions about what happened that day?
What makes you think I'd want to be on video? That was...
I'm starting to get worried about Seth. I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but he's getting really frustrated and angry, and he's so invested in this case, but I don't know, something's off.
What are you talking
It doesn't
about?
Nothing.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Nobody wants to talk to us. Either the people here are new and have no idea what I'm talking about, which is annoying. Like, research something, you know? Or like the people that have been here, they're so traumatized by all this that they don't want to talk about it. It's just frustrating. God, it's so cold. Are you cold?
Not really, but I'll turn the heat up in here.
You were investigating something else, so I just wanted to make sure you're okay. I hope you get this voicemail in time.
What was that about?
Just someone I have that's doing research for me about this ancient god Modir. I'm just looking into some stuff.
Oh, what did they say?
I mean, not much. They just, we're talking a little bit about the history and some of the places in Ho National Forest, and so... Okay, now I'm going to interview you. Do you believe in this stuff any more or less from the beginning of the day?
Yeah, when you said the name Motor.
No, you got to say it right. It's Modir, because that's what apparently invokes this ancient spirit.
Well, that name just keeps playing over and over in my head, and I just can't imagine, like, killing you over something like that. Did anybody look into these people's mental health?
Yeah. I mean, everybody was mentally sane until Modir attacked.
Apologize.
I'm sorry, Modir.
No, to me.
Nope. I'm not apologizing to you. You're going to have to kill me first. The waterfall behind me may look like a beautiful place in the summer to come pull off, or during the winter to beat the crowds and see a view just this magnificent. But with what happened here, you may never want to visit. This fall is home to probably the most grisly case yet. Exactly 1 year later, on today's date, in 2005, I can't do it. The waterfall behind me may look like a beautiful attraction, something that you would want to come see with your family. But what happened here may be the reason that you never step foot anywhere near this waterfall. Exactly 1 year later, in the year 2005, on the same date, a family came up to picnic below the waterfall, a family of 3. The father was a renowned priest in Northern California, here on a vacation, a sabbatical. And it had been known that this priest had been thinking of leaving his church for quite a long time due to disbelief in what he was teaching. The family decided that this wasn't the view they wanted. It was too loud to engage in conversation. So they made their way to the top of the falls. With multiple campers around in their hammocks, listening to the sound, they heard the first scream. The husband threw his wife from this 90-foot waterfall, ultimately leading in her death, before the onlookers seen him grab his child, scream the word Modir, and jump to his death, murdering his child and himself. So you ready for the next one?
No, I'm fucking annoyed. Like, I don't know why you would take me to that place where all those people were killed and that family died. It's really freaky. I was getting weird vibes.
You knew that this is what it was going to be. You knew that these were going to be horrible stories. But Megan, that's all they are. They're just stories. Nothing's real.
I don't know. It felt really weird being there.
Well, I think you're just buying into the story a little bit too much. Like, there's no gods. There's nothing. It's all made up. And I just think, let's just get to Rialto Beach. You love the beach. You're gonna enjoy it there. The story is not as bad there, I promise. And then we get to Ho. You're gonna love that. It looks amazing. I think you just need to distance yourself from the stories a little bit. So maybe I film the next one.
Okay, let's just go.
All right. Just a short drive from our last location, we are here at the famous, the dark and moody Rialto Beach. And this is where we come across yet another murder, suicide. A year later, March 2006, there's a young couple, not yet married, but engaged. Tom and Diane. Both were winter surfing. Both were avid surfers. They were sitting here on this very beach, estimated to be right here, where we are now. They were waiting for the perfect waves, watching, scouting, when the worst possible thing imaginable happened. Diane had a knife that she kept on her side, and Tom as well, but the knife was for fishing nets, sharks, protection, opening up a new can of wax to put on their surfboards, maybe fixing something on their dry suits. Diane stabbed Tom 37 times. In the chest, stomach, and the neck. People tried to stop her. They did. And as they were administering aid, trying to save Tom's life, Diane walked into the waves about knee-deep and screamed at the top of her lungs, "Modir." She engraved the same symbol that we see in every murder into the chest of her wetsuit and into her skin, before ultimately plunging the knife into her heart and falling backwards into the waves. Tom died on this beach. And Diane was never seen from again. This trend here is frustrating because as someone who wants to get to the bottom of this truth, there's nobody to ask. And we find ourselves running these same circles, case after case after case, not getting any closer to any result. Does this God Modir really exist? Is it driving people to commit murders and then suicides? Is it driving people to commit a sacrifice before escaping, only allowing those around them to think that they've died? That's what we're here to find out. See, that one wasn't so bad, was it?
No, I actually feel pretty good now.
Good. Happy?
Yeah, I am happy.
Good. Oh no, run!
I almost died. It's okay.
This is so cool. I have always, since I was a kid, wanted to see forest and a beach.
You want another donut hole?
All right. I think you're going to be interested in this case. These are really good, by the way. All right, is this good right here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great.
You can see hollow mosses.
Yep.
Cool. Welcome to the final stop on today's journey. We're going to be on the Hall of Mosses. And you may already be asking yourself, what gruesome thing happened here? And did it happen a year later on today's date? Well, the gruesome thing, it's hard to say because we've lost count. And did it happen a year later? My chest is fluttery. I'm like, I just feel like I'm gonna pass out.
You all right?
Stop the camera. So we are here at our final location, the Hall of Mosses Trail. And this is where everything started. Now you may be asking yourself, what murder happened here and did it happen a year later? It's hard to say because there's been more than one. And did it happen a year later? Well, that's hard to say because we've been tracking instances on this trail at a particular tree for 150 years now. This is where we believe the cult of Modir started. In every cult gathering, there's a sacrifice to the mother god. Hopefully not today, but we've been tracking them. Man, I really don't feel good. Let's just do the hike and maybe I'll feel better and we can do this one a little.
You alright?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. My vision it keeps going in and out. I don't know if I can make it.
You're okay. Just a little bit further. Until you're right where we need you.
Alright, let's keep going.
Come on.
Did you have any of those brownie bites?
No?
Maybe it's like a bad egg? Baggage right up ahead of me. To find the tree. I feel like my head is just pulsing. I don't know where I am. Meghan, there you are. I've been lost. Where are you going? I don't know where Meghan went. She left me again. This tree right here, though. This is where the sacrifices happen. Inside of here. I can't see. I can't see. Meghan. Is that you?
Hey, just giving you a call back because my team and I have been looking into these cases of this ancient pagan deity, Modir, and what we're finding is some pretty concerning stuff. So, this ancient deity spans back probably hundreds of years in different mythological ways, but it's most prominent in probably the last 30 to 35 years. There's a cult that's actually been, I don't know how to say this. I mean, they've been sacrificing things, goats, cats, um, fetuses even to this ancient deity, and every meeting, they meet there on the same day, March, when these other murders happen. So it almost seems to me like these people had been kind of indoctrinated into this cult before killing their significant other. um, as kind of a yeah, as kind of a sacrifice, and um, I just want to make sure that you're okay because I know you and your wife are going out there today, and it's the same date, and I know you had mentioned to me in the past that she's the one that kind of made you aware of these cases. You were investigating something else, so I just wanted to make sure you're okay. I hope you get this voicemail in time.